Everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Dream of Crafts. My name's Deanna, and today we'll be working on video number 2 for my Florida Vacation mini album. And just as a reminder, I'm going to be using the Summer Splash collection from Cartabella. And this is an older collection, and I went on Snap Click Supply um, company and got the Summer Splash Mega Collection. There'll be an attachment down in the description for the collection that I got. And I don't get paid for them. They did not furnish my collection. I purchased it with my own funds, just to make that clear. And I did get the full Mega Collection, and it comes with 2 paper packs and 3 element packs, and you print them up yourself. I do not have a 12 by 12 printer. I print standard size 11 by 8.5. So, and we left off on page 3-2. I number my pages that way. And if you remember, it was this one right here. So this one's going to be just the opposite. It's going to face this way. This is supposed to be on the outside. This is, if you remember in the last video, I said when I printed, the colors were just a little different than the actual one that I had from there. I had 2 sheets of cardstock from them, and this was one of them. Had the flamingos on it. I cut it in half to make it fit because it's nice and heavy. I didn't think I needed an additional thing. So this one is already glued in, like we glued this side over here inside of the flap. These are already on. I think this was one of my practice fits, so the flip pockets are already on. But you can see the difference in the color. It's not that bad, so I just wanted to show you the difference. And like I said, I only had a couple of these sheets, so what I'm going to print isn't going to interfere with that much. So I just wanted to show you that. So this one, 4-1, is pretty much already done because there wasn't anything else to that. These opened up like that and closed, and then these open up like this and close. So this is going to be like the book set here. The mirrored images of each other. So this was, again, 3-2 and 4-1. We're going to go right to 4-2 here, and that is just like the other one we did. So we got 2 that are 7 5/8 wide by 10 inches high. You're going to score them at a 1/2 inch and at 5/8 inch. Okay, so you got 2 of them. One is going to get glued to the left side. One is going to get glued to the right. We have our other elements here, our 3 pockets. So let's go ahead and get those glued down. This should be nice and simple because it's just redoing what we've already done on the other half of the book. And again, as a reminder, you can use whatever type of adhesive you like. I like to use glue, but whatever you're comfortable with, that's what I want you to use. And sometimes I use tape too. It's not never, just not as often as some other people. Okay, I'm going to come here and I'm going to line up my 1/2 inch edge with my left hand corner here and the bottom, watching my gusset. Don't want to damage my gusset. Okay, right along that edge there. And I can just see my pink edge there because that goes inside of the pocket. There we go. Bring this back up, get that gusset ready again. Fold it off to my side there. I'm just kind of lightly pressing on it to get that gusset to stretch back into position. I can make it even again. Okay, here we go. I'm pressing down and you can see my second score line there. So I have just my 1/2 inch edge. scratchy because of my textured cardstock. And I'm going to get this down here, down in my right hand corner here, like so. Yeah, it looks like this one's just a little crooked there. Let's line it up. All right. Get this going right in there. That gusset resituated. Put the one smushed down. There we go. So we have a right flip and a left flip. And then we have our pockets. And if you remember, the pockets are 4 3/8 inch high by 9.5 wide. I scored one at 5/8 and then flipped it and scored the other half at half an inch, just to make it a little bit smaller so it fits in between those gussets nicely. Again, we've dropped this down 1.5 inches. I took my ruler and I can see through it, line that top line up at 1.5, my line, so I know exactly where to start. So this one, remember, bottom open. Yeah, this should go a bit quicker than the other one. We'll see. Once we get these done, we'll have all the pages done. All right, so there's my line. I'll slide over so I'm in between those gussets. Don't want to be on them. Can go over just a little bit more there. There we go. Haven't done a count or anything yet, but I think this is going to hold a fair amount of and other memorabilia for me. The area of Florida that I'm going to, I should say returning to, I've been there before and love it, but my grandkids haven't been to this area of Florida yet, so, or my daughter. So, and that's who I'm going with. We're going on not a total family vacation because not everybody else is going, but we hadn't taken the boys on a trip in a while, and the baby has never been on a trip. Can't see my line there. Is that crooked? Is that crooked? Nope, that's not crooked. I wonder why I can't see. I'm going to draw a darker line so I have something to see. There we go. Hard to see that white on white through there. There we go. That should work. And like I said before, this is going to get covered with cardstock, so I'm not worried about that. And again, we're going to leave the bottom open. Some nice big tags in here. And we'll also have nice big tags for our tunnels too. All right. Line that up with that line. Line my edges up. Keep those nice and even. There we go. Perfect. It's a nice way to do pockets, so you can have some nice tags. I don't need a ton of pockets, but pockets are nice. All right, and this one we're just going to bring down to the very bottom, and we are going to close off the bottom of this pocket here. And there we go. We're also going to be stopping and South Carolina on our way home, so maybe I'll have a, but we'll be near the ocean there too, so I don't know if I'll make a separate album or throw it in with this one. I'm not quite sure. I haven't decided yet. I hate to make a separate album and then not use it for that. So I might wait to see how much I can get in this one. And if I can add it to this one and it looks good, then I will. If I can't, then we'll make another one at that time. That. There we go. A little bit of glue down there. Okay. And as a reminder, I do this just to make sure that my old tabs are free. All right. So that is it for page 4-2. 1, 2, 3 pockets. And I'll tell you, I mean, that's nice and deep there. So I can go down. I can have a 9-inch high tag in there. So that's a nice size tag in that top one. All right. There we go. So we're going to stick that on our pile. Oops. And we are going to go to 5. 1. All right. There's my tunnel. Put those there. All right. So 5-1 is the pull-out flips, if you remember. And this is the top part here. So we can set those aside. And I'm going to grab my scoreboard and just do a walkthrough, a reminder of how I got those. So on this one, we scored at 4 1/4. Oh, I'll give you the measurements again. This is 9 wide by 9 7/8 high. Okay, 9 wide, 9 7/8 high. First score is 4 1/4. Our second score is 8 1/2. Then I took it and I slid it a 1/16 of an inch and scored at 4 1/4 again and 4 5/8. Okay. One more time. Measurements are 9 wide by 9 7/8 high. First score is at 4 1/4. Second score is 8 1/2. You're going to come back and you're going to move your 4 1/4 score line 1/16 of an inch. We'll make it centered right between the quarter and the 5/8. You're going to score at 4 1/4 and 4 5/8. That gives you that nice little gusset there to keep our pages even. Okay. I hope that's easy for you. I don't know how else to explain it, so hopefully I'm explaining it good enough. All right. So we have first one. This is going to get put down here. How am I going to do that? All right, you're going to go like this. And then you go like this. Okay. And our next one is going to be the same way. Like that. Like that. So remember, we have like this here. Got a valley in. And our 1/2 inch score faces down. Okay. Like that. So I'm going to attach my 1/2 inch edge to that. Okay, so I fold that over, come up to my left hand here. That's set up, make sure my bottom's nice and even. Keep this level along there, just like that. There we go. Okay. All right. So that goes like that. There we go. And as I fill this, then those gussets will take up the room they need to. Okay. So here's my flap, my hinge is on my left-hand side facing down. Pull that way. And then, so we need 4 of those. Again, my measurements. 4 at 9 wide by 9 7/8 high. So you need 4 of those. 2 for the left side, 2 for the right side. You need 2 4 7/8 wide by 9 7/8 high. And you are going to score on the 4.5 inch and repeat, shift it for the gusset. Shift it a 1/16 of an inch and score on each side of that. I'm going to get that gusset facing me so it's nice and flat. So I'm only working with my 1/2 inch. And I was also going to tell you how to do it with just 8.5 by 11 paper. So I will show you in just 1 second here. Let me open this up so all the rest is out of my way. And we're going to attach that in the same manner we did the last one. Line up our left-hand corner, our bottom edge, and keep that lined up all the way to the top. There we go. All right. Make sure it's sealed. There. So pulls open all the way this way or that way. Or again, you can open them one at a time and look at them this way or this way. Okay. All right. So now, if you don't have the 12 by 12 to do this section and the other section of the books, sorry about that, my trash can just kind of tipped off. You can take your 8.5 by 11. Let me grab a sheet here and cut them separate. So you would cut just these pieces like this. So you would cut the 4 7/8 wide by 9 7/8 high, but you would need to cut 5 of them. And then you would stack them the same way, alternating your hinge so that they stacked up. Okay. So it would be, it's going to take you a lot more cutting and a lot of sheets of the 8.5 by 11. But you can do it. So if you have the 12 by 12, that makes it a little easier. But if you don't, you can get them out of your 8.5 by 11. And you don't have to do as many. I did 5 because I wanted them to open from the center going out like that. If I stop there, then they'd be opening from this edge, from the outside going in. So I didn't want that. And if you think, okay, I'll just put that on the right side, well, you can't, because then your hinge is in the center. So that's why it ends up being 5. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and put our other ones together. Make sure I'm getting them lined up the right way. Okay. All right. So we do just the opposite. We have our V and we have our mountainside here with our 1/2 inch gusset or our 1/2 inch hinge facing down under. Same way with our second piece. Okay, and then our top piece will be on that same side. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this glued down. I gotta make sure I got it on the right side here. All right, so that's there. So this has to be glued onto this half here, right there. All right. It's just opposite. And if you don't want this and you want to remake one of the other ones on there to stick with just 8.5 by 11s, you can repeat one of the other pages too, if you would like to. Why is that longer? Why is that longer? Hang on. It's 9 7/8. Oh, that one got cut short. Okay, so I have to recut this because it's too short. All right. So, my trimmer back out here and recut it. For some reason, that one was not right. 9 7/8. Get it right this time. 9 7/8 pi by, let's say, 9 inches wide. Double check. 9 7/8 double check on here. By 9 inches wide. Yep. Okay. All right. So let's make sure we get it right. That's videos. All right. So grab my scoreboard. And on our 9-inch side, okay, got that. Score it right to, okay, so we're going to score it 4 1/4, 8 1/2. We're going to come back. I'm going to slide this, my 4 1/4 mark, right to the center between 4 1/4 and 4 5/8. I'm going to rescore it 4 1/4, score it 4 5/8, and that gives me a nice gut set there. All right. So everything will be nice and even. When it goes to the front. Once that gusset gets worked in there, good. It'll be good. It'll be good. Because it doesn't like to. I'm going to line that up. The nice thing about this gusset is it makes them line up. If I can get it to start. It makes them line up more even than if you just slide it over. It keeps your sides kind of even. I can get it to cooperate here. There we go. There we go. All right. So let's try again. And that's good that you see that things do happen. You know, everything doesn't always run smooth. All right. So now we got to go back to how we were doing this. So that one goes like that. That one goes like that. I'll do that. Okay, so that one's down, that one's down, and then this one gets glued there. Okay, perfect. So I need to glue my 1/2 inch there. Everything should be even now. You should be ready to go now. And those little things happen when you're crafting. All of a sudden it's like, how in the world did I do that? But I didn't want to not fix it because my next piece should be the right length. I'm going to come down to my right hand corner here, line that whole edge up there. I don't want my, there we go, just like that. Okay. There we go. All right. open this up because my next one has to be glued on there. So again, I've got my 1/2 inch line all set and ready to go to be glued down. I gusset out of the way. All right. Edge down there. All right. Oopsie. Slide it over there. Okay. Guess it working there. Straighten it up. All right. So now, got one facing left, one facing right. I'm going to open like that. Bring in my tunnel. I'm going to close up my glue just for a second here. Fill the bottle too full, I think. Come on. There we go. All right. So this is going to go on the left side here. And then when we do our decorative cardstock, then that will go over top of this hinge here too and help hold that in place nicely. Okay. And I'm going to get those back there like that. Come in on the left side, line up my bottom and my tunnel edge there. Split the difference. I'll have about a 1/16 of an inch on the top and on the bottom. There we go. Just like that. Okay. There we go. Same with this one. That way I can feel comfortable adding decorative cardstock to these and still feel like I have enough room where it's not too thick. At least that's the theory. Sometimes it doesn't always work in real life, but that is the theory, that we will have plenty of room in there for, all right, for both paper and pictures. Because you got to remember, paper gets put on both sides of this type of thing. So hopefully we'll be good. All right, there we go. Let's give her a little there, there. Okay. So opens left, opens right. Perfect. All right. That is page 5-1. 5-2 is my little scrap queen flip, I call it. So we're going to start with our back pocket. This is 8 inches high by 9.5 inches wide. Scored a 1/2 inch on each end. Furnish this. And this does get glued down. It is a pocket. I mean, get glued down. The going to get glued down because it's a pocket. Now, if I was going to use tape, then I would have already had all this taped for you. And I never use tape to seal the bottom of my pockets because it's sticky. And you put your tag in and your tag might stick to it. So even if you use tape on the hinges, you might not want to use tape on the very bottom edge. All right, line up my bottom edge. There we go. Just like that. Slide over. There we go. I see a little bit of glue coming out the bottom there. There we go. All right. Okay. I did that upside down. It's not going to matter. It gets covered anyway. So. Okay. Okay. There we go. Our next piece is number 2. It's written down in my book. So number 2, we're going to cut. No, that's not number 2. That's cut 1 at 6 inches high by 9.5 wide. Score 1/2 inch on each end. This is another pocket. So you get glued right down there. Lots of pockets. Lots of pockets. Okay. If you can hear the TV in the background, my husband is watching TV, so sorry about the distraction if you can hear it. It just depends on what channel he's on. Sometimes the channels are really loud. All right. Again, line that up down at the bottom. Make sure your sides are even there. Again. Give my hinges a little check. Make sure I don't glue those down. All right. We need 2 cut at 6 inches high by 9.5 wide. You are going to score at 1/2 inch, 4 3/4 inch, and at 9 inch. And this is where you create the W going this way or the mountain going this way. Okay. So if you look at it this way, it looks like a double with very short bead on each side. Okay. We're going to take this. And if you remember, we're going to line it up on our edges there, and we're going to glue just this side down to the center of that paper. So it doesn't matter which one. All right. So I'm going to grab this, try not to get my fingers in the glue, line up my corner, my bottom, and my edge, and the top. Just like so, right to that edge. Put that down. Give it a press. Give it a press. Perfect. We're going to take our next one, and that's going to glue on here and glue that right up against there. Okay. Okay, glue on the 1/2 inch edge, just our little hinge there. Right. And press it right up against there, keeping it level. There we go. Just like that. There we go. Our next piece is 6 inches high by 8.5 wide, and this is our front piece. Oops, this is down there. Okay, so then we're going to put glue on each one of our 1/2 inch hinges here, and then we're going to place that on the center of that. So let's get our glue going here. Once you do a couple of these, they actually go together pretty quick. So I've done enough of them now that I'm comfortable with it. All right, line up my bottom, my edge. Okay, press on the center. Here we go. Press on that center. A little glue coming out here. Good press. All right. Now we have a, see, glue down. There we go. Got a little glue in between the two. So it lifts left. It lifts right like that. All right. Our next piece is the final piece. It is 4.5 inches high, 9.5 inches wide. You're going to score a half inch on each end. And this is our final pocket. It's the top pocket. There we go. So this actually goes kind of quick. And even with this last pocket, you have the ability, let me get this glue off of there, to place a photo on there too. 4.5 inches, so you'll have, it says 4 inches, 4 inches, so you could still put a picture in there without cutting it down if you would like. Let me test my hinge there. All right, nothing's glued down. Another flip here, making sure it's not glued. There we go. All right, so that is page 5-2. All right, we have one more set of pages to do. We have 6-1 here. And you put 6-2 back there. Did I use? I am not going to be able to do, I'll show you what I'm not going to be able to do in this video because I don't have it printed up yet. So if you remember on page 1, we laid this paper down prior to putting our waterfall down. I don't have this printed up yet, so I can do 5-1 for you, and in the next video, once I get everything printed up, I will do 5-2 with you before we go further on that. But I can't do it without that printout, and I didn't even think about that. So, all right, so we'll do that the next time. We'll finish up that first. Okay. All right. So we have one piece, 8 3/8 wide by 10 3/8 high. On your 10 3/8 side, you're going to score it a half inch and 5/8 of an inch. That gives you an 1/8 of an inch gusset. We are going to glue that half inch right down to the top. So, let's see where we're at this time. Oh yeah, this one's going a lot faster than the other one. And we're going to be short ones, so we'll be all right. Okay, so I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to send them, have about a 1/16 of an inch on each side there. And line my half inch up there. Not my gusset, just my half inch. There we go. A little bit on each side. We got about 1/8 of an inch there, but once we get our gusset back up there the way it's supposed to be, nice and flat, then it gives us about 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so then that goes up. We have our two pieces cut at 9 7/8 inches high by 4 7/8 wide. You're going to score at a half inch and 5/8 inch, and this gets glued down. One will get glued down to the left, and one will get glued down to the right. So again, 2 of those. That matching up my bottom edge and the outside edge here. Okay. Bottom edge, outside edge. There we go. Bring my gusset back there. Back that way. Give it a crease again and bring it back up straight. Okay, here we go with this 1/2 inch edge. Get my gusset out of the way. Line it up the edge there. All right. As I always want to cooperate. Once I get that gusset out of the way, then it'll be good. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to fold our gusset back 1/8 of an inch. Give that a score and then stand it up straight. And then our edges should meet good. There we go. Yep. All right. So now we have 2 pieces. If you remember, cut it 4.5 wide or 4 1/4 wide by 5 inches high. You're going to score that on the 4 1/4 side at 1/2 inch. And one of these gets glued in here, facing in. And the other one will be glued on the other side, facing in. And as a reminder, you can glue these anywhere you want. I'm just going to come right down to the bottom there, line it right up. But you can put it anywhere on this side that pleases you. Okay. And this one's going to go over here. These actually come together quite quickly. It's just the time it takes to figure out what you want to do and how you want to cut it. And so that takes quite a bit of time sometimes. So working in the different sizes. So you all see just the cutting and the putting together sometimes, but the thought that has to go into what you want to put in it takes a while. All right, we have a pocket that is 3.5 inches high by 9.5 inches wide, and that is going to go right in between those 2 there. We're going to glue that bottom shut because this is a pocket. Maybe. Glue my. There we go. All right. So I'm going to come between those 2. Drop it right along the bottom. There we go. I really don't want to interfere with that. Okay, there we go. Okay. I'm going to slide my ruler in there again, make sure I didn't impede those hinges. So those fold in. Yep. This folds in. Do I have it on top or on bottom? I don't remember. I don't remember. I think those go on the inside. Let me look at my other one and I'll be able to tell you. Whoopsie. I gotta flip my book over. Yep, it's on the outside. Okay. So that is right. So this stays on the outside. I thought it did because of the deeper gusset there. Just get going. So that opens up. These open up. A couple extra little flips here and a pocket. And as I said before, we will get, well, we can glue this part on. So we can go ahead and glue this part on. The only part we won't be able to do is the waterfall part. Okay. So this is, where are we? This is, let me see here. Let's say 11. Yes. 11 inches high, 8.5 inches wide. And it's scored at, on the 11-inch side, score at 10 and 10 1/4. Okay. We're going to glue this bigger part down here. Here we go. We can make our belly band too. All right. And all I have to do is add the paper. All right. My gusset's facing me, so I'm not interfered with that. And this fits right perfect on the top edge there. Make sure it fits perfect on the top edge. Come on. One on that edge. Here we go. Now it looks like it's hanging down here, but once you get that gusset up there where it's supposed to be, it'll line up perfect. Okay. All right. So then this is our waterfall that pulls off the page. We also needed our, where did it go? There's a piece missing here. It's our little flip thing that I had. Where did that go? All right. There should be. All right. Okay, let me look at this one here. Get the right width. All right. So here, it's 11 inches wide. And it was punched on the ends. And I believe we scored it at 5.5 and 5 3/4. So on my 11-inch edge, we're going to score at 5.5, 5 3/4, and fold that. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that too much there. And then, if you remember, we fastened that underneath there, I believe. So let's see here. I'm going to flip this up. Put these open. It wasn't under there. It was down here. Okay. So this is what holds this page down. So let's go ahead and get that glued down. Okay. We'll get that glued down. You can use a different method too if you want. This sometimes just makes it easier. You can use ribbon, whatever you want. Or if you don't think it needs it, don't use nothing. Okay. So I'm going to eyeball the center here. Drop that right down along that edge there. There we go. So now when this is down, this will have a magnet in it right there. Okay. And you can add those if you want. All right, let's go with these. And remember, we're going to add it on here first, just so we know how far up it's got to go. So I'm in a good inch there, or about an inch. That way my paper will cover it and not make a thing. So this, we want to keep our gusset straight up and down, we can. So let's put a piece of tape under here. Add our top magnet here. There we go. All right. So I'm going to keep my gusset straight up and down. I'm going to drop that magnet just like that. And press it. Slide it to the edges. There we go. And that should hold that. All right. Okay. So that's that. We can do our belly band. Oh, there it is. Hidden. I knew I did it. All right. So our belly band, if you remember, these are scrap pieces, and they were, so you can cut yours however you want. These ones were 3.5 inches wide. One was 11 inches long. We scored that at 1 inch on each end. Our other piece was 10 inches. So we're just going to glue those together. Just like that. All right. So we're going to get a good amount of glue on there. And then this just helps hold those pictures nicely into place without flopping around. You use magnets too, but or another one of these type things, but I just like the looks of the belly band. You can add embellishments to it, so it makes it kind of fun. Makes it kind of fun, just something different. Okay. All right. Right. Just like that. All right. Now, if we want, we can put on our big magnets here so we don't forget. Like I said, I have these really big magnets. They're not thick, but they are very strong. And if you don't have these, you can always add more regular magnets if you feel you need it. You could also put the magnets on the back of the belly band. So your belly band is on here, like that. Just like this. Did that work in there? Okay. So you got your belly band on. You could put your magnets on the back of your belly band before you cover it so that you have one less piece of paper in the way. Okay? However you want to do it. Okie dokie. So I'm going to one there, one there. Put my tape. So then all we have to do with this piece when we come back is add the decorative cardstock and put the waterfall on there. Okay, go. And then we're going to take our tape again, like that. Hang that on there. Okay. Last magnet. There we go. Take this and I want to line this along the bottom, giving myself about 1/16 of an inch each side. And I'm going to drop that on there. Find my magnet. There's one. Okay. There's two. Okay. I'm going to shift it. It's easier to shift it and slide it off to make sure your magnets are on there good. Otherwise, sometimes you'll just pull them right off. All right, I'm going to slip my belly band back on to keep that all together until we put the paper on. So the next time we'll put the decorative cardstock on here, we will finish putting another 8 of our waterfall pieces on. So if you want to get a head start, you can. The base for this, did I tell you the base size? The base size is 8 3/8 by 9 7/8. But let me double check it here. Yes, 8 3/8, 9 7/8. Okay, that's your waterfall base. And then you're going to need eight pieces that are 6.5 wide by 5 inches high. You're going to score on the 5-inch side at a 1/2 inch. So I have 8 of those. Okay, that is it. I'm going to slide those in there so I don't lose them. Bring this down. And I'm going to take a minute to thank you for joining me. If you are a subscriber to my channel, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Knowing that I'm getting new subscribers and keeping the ones that I originally have subscribed to me means a lot to me. And I truly do appreciate it. Like I have said before, I don't get paid for doing this at this time. I buy all my own supplies. No one furnishes anything for me. So when I get subscribers and I keep subscribers, that means that I am doing something right. And I truly do enjoy this. If you're not a subscriber, please go down to the red subscribe button in the right hand corner. And when you hit that, a bell will pop up. If you select the bell, then you can be notified each time I put up a new video. So we will continue this with video number 3. And until the next time, I hope you have a great night. Bye-bye.